Right, so here's the rebuilt starter motor. So all new guts in here. This end here, which goes into the bell housing, that's got a phosphor bronze bush on there, which that goes into. And I've already replaced that bush, so it's not going to hang up or anything on there, so that's all good. Just so you all know what's going on in there. So this is what we've replaced. So you've got the actual armature in there, there's that part in there, and then round the outside you've got the field windings. So obviously that goes, you know, in there, and then you've got your brushes, which ones will be this end, you don't know without that. So your brushes run on there, and that then generates the actual power. So yeah, I mean these are as I say, these are all 80 years old, so these have seen better days, you can see that. So that's why we replaced them. So if you look at, you know, the voltages, a bit like water pressure. So this is an old 12 volt tractor cable, that's an old 12 volt one, right? And this is one of the original Jeep 6 volt cables. Look at the difference in size of those. Because you can look at amps and volts, I suppose, like water pressure. So your amps being the actual volume and flow, and the volts being the water actual pressure of it. So this, you don't need as much volume because you've got a lot more pressure, 12 volts. Whereas this one, you've got a lot less actual pressure because it's only 6 volts. So you need more volume, so you get a thicker cable. So that's basically the difference, sort of simplified really. 900 cranking, cold cranking amps in this battery, but only 6 volts. So we haven't got much water pressure, only 6 volts, but we need lots of volume. The 900 cranking amps, we need to get that through a bigger pipe, bigger cable, see? Okay. Be glad when the bloody barbers all open up again. My hair's just getting solid, a bleeding hippie. Far out. Right. Now incidentally, some of you may have seen on the last video that in the comments we had one viewer that took exception to the clips and the movie footage that I put into my videos. He found them offensive and blasphemous and he wanted me to stop. Yeah, good luck with that. He's probably just one of these sorts that thinks Jesus wants him for a sunbeam. But the truth of the matter is, he probably doesn't, and even he thinks he's a cunt. Can't find the right spanner. This'll do. Right, so the power lead's on the starter. Starter's bolted into the bell housing. Earth strap is on. So there we go. Right, folks. So hold her fingers crossed. We'll see what she does. Right. Right, well, it's been over 3 weeks, isn't it, since we last buggered about with this, so that battery hasn't been touched. I've just had it on charge for a few hours, about 3 hours. I've checked all the connections again. So yeah, there we are. Take 2. Right, ignition is on. Choke out.
It's alive!
So that's now running on 6 volts. About bloody time. Ah, that's brilliant. I'm really pleased with that. Definitely really pleased with that. The other thing I was just going to mention is that since we looked at this last time, I've changed these hoses. You can see top, bottom, all these hoses have been changed because the other ones rotted out. So hopefully that's good as well. Yeah, so where now with this? We need to connect all the wiring now, which is at the end of the looms and all that. It's all there ready to go. It's just got to be put in the lights and stuff like that. Yeah, and then actually I'll bleed the brakes. Yeah, brake fluid in, bleed the brakes. We're doing the windscreen, as you know, sorting that all out. And with this now, just put a bit of run time on it. You know, we'll just run it once we get the brakes bled. Start driving, driving it about and getting up to temperature and stuff like that. So yeah. Well, we'll just see if it weren't a fluke. Let's just see if it'll fire up again, just in case. You never know. Oh, and if some of you are wondering what that is, there's something else I've got going on. It's another project for another day, but I'll keep you all informed. So there we are, muckers. That's another one off the list. So we've got the Jeep now going on the 6-volt system, which is great, as I said, because that means I can progress forward now. And I haven't got to change things. I haven't got to think about how I can use a 12-volt system or a partial 12-volt system and stuff like that. So I just got on with wiring up. The thing I can get on with now is getting on, putting the lights and all that sort of stuff in and getting the gauges, all the rest of them wired up. Most of them already are. Now, in the last video, I asked you guys out there, if you could go back and meet or spend some time with anyone throughout history, who would it be? And then there was some absolutely fantastic answers. Once again, you just did not disappoint. There was people who were wanting to see, famous people, inventors, members of the family that have gone, and stuff like that. And yeah, there's a big variety of answers. On the last video, someone in the comments put on there about how, again, they didn't like the pictures that are inserted or the movie clips, and they found it blasphemous and offensive. So I basically told him to go fuck himself, and I aren't interested because I ain't going to change. I'll do what I want. This is my channel. It's done my way. If you don't like it, fuck off. Anyway, he then got a bit of heat, so he deleted his own comment. Yeah. Oh, fucking twat. I thought, no. So what I did, I commented on there that he deleted his comment, but just don't think you're going to come on here and then just, then suddenly delete your comment and just scurry off. My word, did you lot go about it then? And you really got stuck into him. Just savage. I have to say, just, you lot out there, just so loyal. And it's much appreciated. As I said, it was nice to see the support. So cheers all you lot out there. That was good watching, actually. So, right, the next thing I'll be getting on with now is the Polaris crawler. So as I said, we're ready to do that, and I've just been a bit busy in the last few days, but I'm going to get over there in the next end of next week, and we're going to get that magneto on and whatever, and see how we go. So we can then put that video together. And as I said, I am looking forward to doing that because it's something a bit different. Oh yeah, the other thing on social media, I've been putting 1 or 2 pictures on just as a bit of interest, really, because people have been asking me about my old Dodge Ram, the 3500 Gen 2 with the Cummins. And yeah, I'm swapping that configuration about. It was a service truck. We are going to change that truck about a bit, and so I because people ask me, well, how are you getting on with it, whatever. So I've started filming stuff as I'm going along. So don't worry, I'll be able to put something together on that. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, quite soon. We'll see how what I'm doing and how I'm getting on with it. But there's bits to be done to it. It's a lot of work, really. The truck itself is absolutely phenomenal. It's really good shape. There's no rot or rust, and but we want to change the configuration of it, and I want to do some upgrades on the Cummins as well. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. This time of year we've got bales to cart and whatever, so I might even get the old 8100 Ford out doing a bit of that and put her to work, just to see what she does, you know. It'd be nice just to get the old girl out there and put her under load a little bit. So, going back to where we were with the questions down in the old squid pit below. As I said, I seem to have found you've got, you know, we've all got similar interests, as I said, but you have got a broad amount of knowledge and stuff. Now, I've got viewers all over the world, so the UK and Ireland, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, South America, North America, Canada, and loads of places in between. Now with that, the interesting thing for me is that you'll get people that have got knowledge on various trucks or tractors, engines and stuff like that, that others aren't familiar with. So for sake of argument, you know, you could talk to somebody in North America about Kenworth trucks. Well, we don't really have them over here in the UK, so people aren't familiar with them. Or we could talk about Scanias or Volvos, and again, you know, there's a few, but not so much in North America, so they're not, you know, and that's really good, because then people can, you know, listen to others and get a broader knowledge base, you see, and understand, you know, why the Americans like their style of truck, or why the Europeans like theirs and whatever. But also with that in mind, there comes, you know, the question about engines and stuff. You know, there's engines that you don't get in North America or in Europe that you do maybe in the UK, or you do get them in Canada, or, you know, that sort of thing. So here's the question for you. And there is no right or wrong answer, because as I've just said, you know, there'll be some applications where they weren't exported, this type of engine, or that engine wasn't imported or whatever. But in your opinion, what is the best engine ever made? And that could be, as I said, a car, truck, tractor, aircraft, digger, whatever.
Gonna hit her about 3/4 to full throttle, come down that hill pretty fast. Hit that water, just gonna hold her wide. Gonna be a good day.
But that is the question. You put your answers in the squid pit below. And if, as I said, if you see somebody answer there and there's an engine you're not familiar with, well, then look it up, find out a bit more about it. But so the question is, in your opinion, what is the best engine ever made? Anyway, whatever you're up to, wherever you are, I hope you're all well. As I said, appreciate your support, and you know, if you've enjoyed and liked this video, don't forget to give it the old thumbs up and the old like button, and yeah, just subscribe to the channel, and yeah, if you've got any mates that have got nothing better to do, get them to subscribe as well. Yeah, and all that old bollocks. So there we are. Right then, muckers, we'll see you on the next one. Do well. You Dodge fans out there will probably argue that the Dodge Ram with the 5.9 Cummins is one of the finest trucks ever built. Yeah, you could argue that, and well, you might have a point. I know one thing for sure though, the wiring in these and the dash panels are just utter shite.